Hey guys, it's Steve with Gorilla Real Estate. Listen, as some of you know, I've owned property in my name for almost 30 years. I've done a lot of multifamily properties, and Gorilla focuses on investors. So I wanted to give you guys a couple tips when you're dealing with multifamilies, whether as a buyer, a seller, or an agent. And the first one is notice. 24 hours notice is pretty much Pennsylvania's standard law, and it's probably what's in your lease as far as how much time you have to give a tenant. Question came up on one of my properties, tenant refused access. What do? Short version from my attorney, you don't enter. He told me castle doctrine still applies. They might be in violation of your lease and you can take them to the magistrate, but you're not going in if they said no. They didn't answer. If you posted the door, sent messages, whatever your lease allows, and they didn't answer, that's an implied yes. But if they said actively no, you're done. Go home. Second thing is, whenever I'm listing a property, and I usually do this before sale, I don't do this up front. I get the tenant and the seller to sign an estoppel certificate. It's fancy words for a document that says my rent is this, my lease duration is that, my tenant name is this, my security deposit is that. Here's the rest of what I need to do so that everyone knows at closing that these are the terms. Someone says, well, I already have a lease. Why do I need that? Well, number one, you want to give the title company a one-page sheet of here's what the facts are, Mr. Title Company, prorate this. And the second thing is you want to give the buyer something that the seller and the tenant have signed shortly before closing to say security deposit is still intact, tenant is up to date, so on and so forth. It's an updated version. And if you have a verbal and no lease, it's even more important to get something in writing. As a buyer, never want to do a deal without it because otherwise you're going in partially armed if you ever have a dispute with that tenant. And the third thing is remember at closing, you transfer the entire security deposits from seller to buyer, and you prorate the rent, or the title company prorates the rent based on the date of closing. So having a one sheet to give your title company that says, here are the facts, makes it much easier on them. And the last thing is, as soon as you list a property, it's an easy thing to forget. Call the lender for the property and get a payoff letter. Get an idea of how much is owed on the mortgage. Second thing, call your municipality and find out if there's pre-sales inspection necessary. Anything else you want to know about buying, selling, owning, or managing multifamily or investment property, self-storage, mobile home parks, give me a call, 570-798-7051. Steve Franco. I've owned property in my own name since 1997. Thank you.